I love seeing the pattern here of what President Kimball did. You'll notice this wasn't a, one day I think this is a good idea, go and take it to the First Presidency Quorum of the 12 and say, let's do this, let's pray about it, good, let's be done. This has been going on for years. Not just him, but previous prophets have been wrestling with this. Listen to this quote from President Kimball. After everybody had gone out of the temple, I knelt and prayed. I prayed with much fervency. I knew that something was before us that was extremely important to many of the children of God. I knew that we could receive the revelations of the Lord only by being worthy and ready for them and ready to accept them and put them into place. Did you catch that? That sometimes God's willing to give you revelation decades before they actually come, but it might be because you weren't ready to receive it, or maybe ready to receive it, but not ready to implement it, not ready to put it into place.
There's a reason why the Lord gave Joseph Smith some things in 1830, but not others.
That's right.
Gave him some things in 1835 or 40.
1842.
When he was ready, when the church was ready, when they could be implemented.
Now listen to this next line. Day after day, I went alone and with great solemnity and seriousness in the upper rooms of the temple, and there I said, Lord, I want only what is right. We want only the thing that thou dost want, and we want it when you want it and not until. I don't know about you, but that is a beautiful pattern for seeking revelation for our lives. And that's the pattern that his prophets are using for the church. And so sometimes if you get this idea or this sentiment that, man, why isn't the church doing more for this group or for that group? Or why are we moving quicker in this direction? You've got to trust that God's prophets are pleading with heaven to find out what heaven wants them to do, when heaven wants them to do it. And perhaps, just perhaps, some of the delay might not be because they're not asking or because they're not worthy of getting the answer. Perhaps sometimes delay might be because we collectively haven't changed our heart and turned our lives to the Lord in such a way that we're ready collectively to receive some of the revelations that are coming. Now, did you notice? This is God's prophet. He holds all of the keys to administer the ordinances of the gospel on the earth. He's the only one authorized to do that. And he had to go many days, many weeks, months, years, doing lots of homework, studying it out, asking others to help him study it out. And it's years in the making. And yet, when I have a serious question, how easily and how quickly I get frustrated with God and disturbed that he won't answer my question. Yeah. I'm fasting, for goodness sakes, and I'm doing my best to live the gospel, and I need an answer. I love this pattern of Spencer W. Kimball, who was, incidentally, the prophet of my youth. He was, that was the voice of the prophet that I was raised with, because President Harold B. Lee passed away when I was only 20 days old. So I grew up with President Spencer W. Kimball as the voice of God's prophet. And I love that man for sticking with this long process. And I want to be more like him in that regard. I don't want to throw a tantrum when I don't get the answer when I first ask. I want to keep working through it.